Today we're going to be going through the procure to pay process in NetSuite. The procure to pay process will start with a purchase order. As you can see here, I have a purchase order pulled up, but in order to create a new one, I would go to Transactions, Purchases, Enter Purchase Orders. First thing you'll notice on the purchase order form is we have this form box with a few different options here in the drop-down menu. This essentially is letting us choose different types of purchase orders, and we can customize the types of fields that we want to see on each purchase order form depending on which form we select. So some common purchase orders that we might see would be a dropship purchase order, maybe an outsourced purchase order. But the real benefit here is it gives us some additional flexibility in terms of what fields we'll see on each form. The next thing you'll notice is some of the required fields that we'll have. Those would include date, vendor, subsidiary, location, currency, and exchange rate. And again, we can customize which fields are going to be mandatory and aren't mandatory. So if you have additional fields that you need to track, we can definitely make those mandatory. But that's how it goes for the header of the purchase order. Down to the line level of the purchase order, you can see we have some additional information that's going to be required, such as the item SKU, the quantity, and the rate. This is going to drive the entire total up here that we're paying for this purchase order. Additionally, we can add in a location on the line level as well as a subsidiary, which would be over here to the right. Subsidiary, location, and again, we'll see department and class, so any other segmentation information that we want to see, we can include here. I'm going to go ahead and save this purchase order. Now that it's been saved, we'll see this receive button and this bill button, which is going to help us to receive and create a bill payment for this purchase order. So I will bring you through an example of a purchase order that I created previously, went ahead and received, and went ahead and billed. But just know that by clicking this button or this button, you'll create the corresponding transaction. So here we see the item receipt. You'll immediately see that it's created from this purchase order, which we can go ahead and click here, and it'll bring us right to the purchase order. But on the item receipt, you can see the item as well as the quantity and to what location. You'll be able to see the GL impact here of the item receipt. We'll see a credit to an inventory received but not billed account and a debit to the raw inventory. Additionally, here we can see the bill, which is currently in a state of paid in full because we have this bill payment created. But you'll see here for the bill, the GL impact, it credits accounts payable and debits your inventory received not billed. And finally, with the bill payment, we can see the GL impact of a credit to cash and a debit to accounts payable. One of the cool things within NetSuite is how you can easily track all of these records and how they're linked. So if we go to the original purchase order, we can click here on related records. We can see receipts and bills. So we'll see the item receipt that was created as well as the bill. Now if we didn't have any of these pulled up, I could go to the bill here and find the bill payment also on the related records tab. You can see here, payments, it's linked here. So this related records tab is going to be really helpful when finding transactions and what they're related to.